afternoon, folks, from the north side of the deck again. Thought I'd come back at you with another little video, hopefully short. I'm going to start right from the beginning so I can work through what's going on right now. No other reason than that. Sarah, look at here. So anyway, on July 12th I had brain surgery. I had a brain tumor removed, and so we've been working through that. We ran into a little bit of a snag. They had a treatment program all worked out, but the treatment program included both radiation and chemotherapy. And the chemo pills that they're giving me, the chemo, isn't, the platelets aren't keeping up to what they want. And from what I understand, that is not unusual. You know, it's not whatever. But they want your platelets at 150. And I started out good at 114, and I went to 85 for the next week, and I'm at 135 this last week. So I got one more week to go next Thursday.
Yep.
And they're going to do another, you know, blood test, and hopefully we can gain those 15 back and be back to where we were. And like I said, from what I understand, it happens. It's not uncommon for it to happen. So that's that on the where I'm sitting now in my treatment. As far as my treatment goes, I pretty much have 4 doctors that I deal with most of the time. One is an oncologist who glioblastoma is kind of like his. That's kind of like his cup of tea. That's what he likes. That's what he does. And then I have the neurosurgeon, Dr. Broadway, who's been, you know. And then I have the I call him the guy that does the aiming, and he's the
Radiologist.
He's the radiologist, and he's from, I believe he's from England. He's been here like 35 years. And then on top of that, I have another doctor named Dennis. He's a great guy too. And a nurse that pretty much has been babysitting me all the way along. Her name is Sherry. But I wanted to say, I guess I'll say this. A while back, in maybe the last video, I had mentioned to my daughter that some of the way that these people get treated up there burns my ass. And I was going to do a rant video about how come people can't treat people nicely, that are treating you nicely, that are trying to save your life, and you somehow or another figure into to not be kind to them. And for me, myself, I just cannot see that. I cannot understand it. It's difficult for me. Now, I think we've got 50.
Less than 50 days after surgery. That was last week.
40.
48.
So we got about 45 days since surgery.
Oh no, after surgery. Or no, 53 days after surgery.
I'm 53 days after surgery right now.
Mm-hmm.
And needless to say, we're doing radiation daily and all the other stuff.
Except for weekends.
Except for the weekends. I just can't say enough about our medical facilities that we have. I mean, it is fantastic. I was up there the other day, and there was a guy that he was complaining because, well, I don't know what his appointment was. I don't know. Let's just say he was supposed to. His appointment was 3 o'clock, but he also had one at 10 o'clock in the morning. And he raised holy hell with this poor lady behind the counter because he wanted it to be at the same time, or that they should be able to fit him in. And I told the lady behind the counter, there's no way you should have to put up with that. And she says, well, yeah, it's part of my job, though. And I told her, well, yeah, you might consider it part of your job, but I don't consider it part of your job to being harassed. That's bullshit. And that's the second time I saw that happen up there. These people that are treating you up there, when I go there and get on that table and they give you the radiation, in my opinion, them are special people. These people that go into the medical field, and I don't care what medical field you're talking about. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're the guy out there that's scraping the snow off the sidewalk. Every single one of those people are important, and they've made a choice to do what they're doing to help people. Our daughter, who one of these days I told her I'm going to do a video bragging about her, but her and I sometimes butt heads. But she spent thousands of dollars to do what she's doing, and her job is not an easy one. I'm telling you that. It's not an easy job. And by easy, I don't mean easy. By easy, I don't mean an easy job to do. I mean it's an easy job to deal with in your head. There's a lot of emotions that goes through there. And I was going to bring up before about the young people today, and some of the comments I've heard from people about, well, the millennials this or the millennials that, or the young kids today are this or the young kids today are that. And I may have touched on this before, I don't know, but like I said, our daughter put a lot of time and money into doing what she's doing, and she's making a difference. And then I guess the people that I'm around, the people that I've dealt with, both the kids, all the kids from town that I know, and our relatives, our grandchildren, our children, not our grandchildren, our children, they're making careers for themselves, and it costs them money to go to school, and it takes a lot to get into that. And we've got local guys from town too, One of the local kids from town I talked to in at Bernie's party. He's an EMT. He's on the fire department. He's bought a house and going to live in Gordon. Works for the town. I mean, I don't know what I can tell you. And then we got, there's another one from Solon I know that Cody that has traveled to, I know he's been to Canada fighting fires, and I think he's been out west fighting fires also. By out west, wherever out west. And I told you about Bernie's party I went to, and there are at least 2 in his immediate family that fit into this category I'm telling you about working at the hospital. There may be 3, but I know there's 2. And then you got other people out there, younger folks, who are starting out a business on their own. I don't know how many of you guys have, I know that some of my YouTube friends are not going to know this, but when you start talking about getting into the logging business, you're talking some big bucks there, buddy, and commitment. This guy works 15 hours a day to make payments and to keep his family fed and housed. So there's a lot of. So rather than doing a rave video like I started out, a rant video like I started out, I was going to do a rant video because it pisses me off when people complain about the young kids today, when the ones that I know, not all of them, I'm not saying all of them, but most of them, a lot of them I know, man, I'll tell you, good folks. And then, there's some that are trying to farm, trying to get a farm going, with some cattle and some sheep and some whatever else they got going on there, chickens and whatever. And of course, the neighbors come through again. I just got done eating chicken rice soup. It was delicious. It came from Craig and Christy Fleming from town. And my son and our son, I shouldn't do that. Our son and his daughter invited us over for supper the other night. That was delicious. What did I say?
You said daughter.
I have problems talking. If you haven't noticed, sometimes my mind is kind of. And then our neighbor down the road here, the Gabriels, they brought us supper that fed our entire family. And we have a big family. There was probably 15 of us here.
Well, 13 anyway. Yeah.
There were 13 of us here. It fed our entire family. And then I got a card from Lori and Al Heinzman. And I got to bump into Annette Minter up at the Walmart.
Got another card from Staffs.
And I got another card from the Staffs. They're very nice people from town here. Very nice. And I'll tell you that do I have a bucket list? My only bucket list I got is to get back on that motorcycle and throw some miles on that sucker. That's what I want to do. But if I did have a bucket list, I told you before there's good days and there's bad days. And I'm going to tell you now that the last 2 days have been my. But we'll make the best of what it is. But speaking of that bucket list, I went to a baby shower. I've never went to a baby shower in my life until Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday?
Last Sunday.
Well, one of our locals here in town, he and her are, her and he are expecting a baby girl, and they had a baby shower. And I thought, well, you know, most of the time the guys don't go to baby showers. But by God, I said I'll go to that one. So I did. And I'm glad I did. You know, I got to talk to some people up there. That was one of those corners I told you about coming around at Shine. You know.
And there was at least six or eight of them. The guys that were there.
So, and I brought up the fair that we go to every single year, and I thought of it afterwards. We usually go through the homemaker department and look at all the goods and sometimes buy some goods. But anyway, my Aunt Mary was there, and my cousin Marlene, and they're both people that are good to talk to too. You know, they make my day. Marlene for sure makes my day. I mean it too. I mean it with all my heart. And
Mary's 30 years to the day older than you.
And we missed Betty there this year, who was another one of my mom's sisters. And but I just wanted to say that no, this did not turn into a rant video. But I want to let you know that these people up there that run these hospitals and do these hospital stuff, them are some important people. And I mentioned, you know, the taking care of the snow on the sidewalks, and the checking you in, and the everything they do. But there's more than just those people that are running those hospitals. The machine that, I don't know how much that machine costs that gives me that radiation. I heard rumor, and it was rumor, of $5 to $10 million. And then there's 8 people that run that machine. That, you know, between them they coordinate getting you in there, getting you on there, getting you. But you know, there's people there at that hospital that they make sure the lights are on. They make sure that they have machines like that to treat people. MRIs and whatever, what are them other things called?
CT scans.
CT scans, emergency rooms,
Radiation.
the helicopter pads, hospitals getting, or the doctors getting paid, and people like these people right here, like Dr. Friday, Broadway, McNanny, and Dennis, and Sherry, who are pretty much, you know, but there has been some, I talk to them, try to talk to them daily, you know, nicely, and of course I do, but I just feel sorry for them if they got to put up with shit, you know, because they shouldn't have to put up with shit. That's how that works. There. Got that rave in. Got that rave in. Well, I got a couple more ideas for some videos. Sooner or later, I would like to do some videos with my family, my grandchildren. I would even like to get one with my parents, and